Hey, this is Benny Johnson back for another Hackintosh tutorial. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to set up your PC for Mac OS X installation. Now when it comes to Mac OS X, extra hardware that it doesn't recognize can cause fatal errors which can prevent the OS from actually booting up, and these errors can take hours to debug, and following these simple steps to prevent these hardware failures and hardware errors can save a lot of time on your part, so make sure you follow them during your installation process. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop the cover off, and I'm going to give you some tips for preventing these errors. Alright, so the first tip I want to recommend, if you have multiple graphics cards like an SLI setup or anything like that, remove all the extra graphics cards, leaving one in the first PCI slot. You want to do this to prevent errors because Mac OS X isn't really a gaming setup type operating system, and it usually doesn't deal with multiple graphics cards, so you want to remove those. And if you've got a graphics card that doesn't support Mac OS X, you want to remove that also, because that could cause some fatal errors as well. Now the second thing is the same with the PCI, how you have to remove the graphics card. You want to remove any extra PCI hardware that goes into your PC's slots that's not needed. So if you've got any TV tuners, wireless card, but I'm not going to remove this wireless card because I'm 100% sure it works with Mac OS X, so I'm not going to need to remove that. But if you've got a wireless card that isn't supported by Mac OS X, you want to remove that, and any other peripherals like TV tuners, capture cards, or anything like that. The third thing I want to recommend is to be on the safe side is, well, it's not really a problem with Mountain or anything like that, but to be on the safe side, make sure you only leave a maximum of 4 gigabytes of RAM in your system. So this system has 8 gigabytes, so to get it down to 4 gigs, I'm just going to remove one card, and that will bring it down to the required 4 gigs. And this will prevent just some errors in terms of memory and that sort of thing. Because Mac OS X probably not used to dealing with 16 gigabytes of RAM or 8 gigabytes of RAM, so to be on the safe side, I don't think it's really a problem at the moment, but to be on the safe side, remove that extra bit of RAM and then you can put it back in after installation. Now the last thing I want to recommend is you remove, you make sure all your SATA inputs go into the actual standard SATA inputs. And these are the 3 gigabyte per second inputs. Some of the new motherboards have these 6 gigabyte per second, which is faster, but with Mac OS X it can cause some serious errors, and it can really cause you some trouble. So make sure all your SATA inputs go into the standard for the gigabyte boards. It's blue. It may be different for another manufacturer, so make sure all your SATA inputs go into those blue slots instead of those white slots, which are the Foster ports. So make sure you put them into the standard 3 gigabyte per second SATA inputs in your motherboard, because that can cause you some errors. And that's about it for today's tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.